We'll start this morning with some big breaking news. Positive news for Arsenal, because centre-back Gabriel has signed a new long-term contract at the club.
The summer transfer window moves into a tense and unpredictable phase as Arsenal's pursuit of Eberechi Eze becomes a complex saga shaped by shifting market forces, emerging rivalries, and a set of unforeseen developments that threaten to derail what once appeared to be a well-timed move. Mikel Arteta and Edu have made the Crystal Palace star a priority target, viewing his blend of technical ability, versatility, and Premier League-proven creativity as exactly the injection of quality needed to complement Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, and Gabriel Jesus in the final third. Negotiations have been ongoing, contacts established, and a framework for personal terms broadly understood. Yet the landscape changes almost daily, and now three separate moves involving other clubs and players have created an environment in which the Gunners' momentum is at risk. Arsenal's recruitment team remains confident in their project, armed with the knowledge that Eze is open to a step up to Champions League football, but they also know the danger of letting a deal linger. Tottenham, their fiercest North London rivals, are now circling, sensing hesitation, and the possibility of outflanking Arsenal in a move that would not only strengthen Spurs but deliver a psychological blow to their rivals before the season even kicks off. The first complication comes from an unexpected development in Spain, where a top La Liga club, facing the loss of a key creative midfielder, has entered the market for someone with Eze's exact profile. That club, with a reputation for swift and aggressive recruitment when needs arise, has made discreet inquiries to Palace, testing the waters before moving officially. While Eze is intrigued by the idea of a foreign adventure, Arsenal have always been in pole position because of location, style of play, and familiarity with the Premier League. However, Palace know that European interest creates leverage, giving them room to demand a higher fee or delay proceedings to draw out a bidding war. Every day lost in this process gives Tottenham more time to position themselves, and they are already using the opening to prepare a package that could rival Arsenal's financially. The second blockage involves a Premier League club that was on the verge of selling one of its own attacking midfielders to a European giant, a deal that would have triggered a domino effect across the English market. That sale has now stalled due to disagreements over bonuses and payment structure, which in turn delays that club's entry into the hunt for Eze's replacement. Arsenal were counting on that move going through quickly, because it would have removed a competing domestic bidder from the Eze equation by pushing them toward a different target. Instead, with their own plans now frozen, that club remains a potential competitor for Eze, and the uncertainty complicates Arsenal's calculations. They could choose to accelerate their bid to preempt rivals, but that means committing early to a valuation that Palace are still trying to push upward. The third and perhaps most frustrating obstacle emerges from within Arsenal's own network of negotiations. Another transfer they are working on involving a player who could free up both funds and a squad slot is progressing more slowly than anticipated. That outgoing deal was meant to give Arsenal the financial flexibility to meet Palace's asking price without disrupting other priorities. Instead, delays in agreeing final terms with the buying club have created a cash flow bottleneck. Palace, aware of this, are not budging, and they know that Arsenal's stance weakens with every day closer to the deadline. This combination of external market pressure, internal timing issues, and the relentless nature of Tottenham's pursuit makes for a high-stakes situation in which every decision carries risk. Tottenham's interest is not speculative, it is deliberate and structured. Ange Postecoglou has identified Eze as a player who could thrive in his system, operating either as an advanced midfielder or wide forward, offering flexibility and the ability to unlock deep defensive blocks, a quality Spurs have struggled to find since the departures of Christian Eriksen and, more recently, the inconsistencies in their creative options. Spurs have a reputation for moving late but decisively, and they have the funds to compete after recent sales. Their strategy is to monitor Arsenal's progress and pounce at the right moment, either with a larger upfront payment or a package that gives Palace more immediate financial benefit. The prospect of Spurs unveiling Eze in a white shirt, knowing Arsenal had pursued him all summer, would send shockwaves through North London. Eze's own position is one of measured patience. He respects Crystal Palace for giving him the platform to shine in the Premier League, but he is also 27 and aware that opportunities to move to a top club do not come around often. Arsenal's project excites him. The chance to play Champions League football, to work under Arteta, and to link up with elite attacking teammates is appealing. Yet the Spurs approach is intriguing in its own way. Postecoglou's football is attack-minded, and the promise of being a central figure rather than part of a larger rotation has its own allure. Behind the scenes, Eze's representatives are assessing not only the financial packages but also the sporting guarantees, the manager's vision, and the potential for trophies. The wider market adds more intrigue. Across Europe, several high-profile players are on the move, each deal with the potential to impact Eze's situation indirectly. A star midfielder in Italy is close to joining a Premier League side, which could shift the focus of another big club away from Eze and toward defensive reinforcements. A Bundesliga club is unexpectedly open to selling a young winger, drawing attention from one of Arsenal's Premier League rivals and possibly removing them from the Eze race. These ripples in the market matter because they can thin or thicken the pool of suitors at any moment, altering Palace's bargaining power. Arsenal's hierarchy remains publicly calm. Arteta's press conferences are measured, his language carefully chosen to avoid revealing frustration or desperation. He speaks about adding the right profiles and players who can make a difference, while Edu works the phones in the background. Yet inside the recruitment department, there is an awareness that this deal carries symbolic weight. Landing Eze after weeks of competition would reinforce the perception of Arsenal as a destination for the league's best talents. Losing him to Spurs would invite questions about their ability to close out key signings, particularly when the target has been so clearly identified as a good fit. Crystal Palace are playing their hand with skill. They know Eze is contracted, they know they have no urgent need to sell, and they understand that the player's form and status give them leverage. Their stance is that any buying club must meet their valuation in full, with minimal installments, and ideally without including player swaps that complicate matters. They also know that dragging negotiations into the latter stages of the window can push prices up as buying clubs become more desperate. Palace's board is in no mood to make concessions early. The atmosphere in North London is charged. Arsenal fans watch every report, every social media post, trying to gauge progress. Spurs supporters, sensing a potential victory in the off-pitch rivalry, amplify rumors of their club's involvement. The media feed on this tension, framing the story as another chapter in the battle for supremacy in the capital. Meanwhile, Eze trains with Palace, outwardly professional, but aware that each session could be among his last at the club. He knows that any injury now could jeopardize his chances of a big move, and the staff at Palace manage his workload accordingly. Behind closed doors, Arsenal's negotiators explore creative structures that might satisfy Palace without breaching their own budget constraints. Front-loaded payments, performance-related bonuses, and sell-on clauses are discussed. They also weigh the risk of committing too much to one player when other positions may require reinforcement before the deadline. Spurs, for their part, keep their bid under wraps but maintain constant contact with Eze's representatives, ready to formalize their approach if Arsenal falter. As the days pass, the three blocking moves continue to exert pressure. The Spanish club's interest remains alive, their manager pushing for a marquee signing before the season starts. The stalled Premier League sale has yet to resolve, leaving that club in limbo and potentially ready to pivot toward ease at any moment. Arsenal's own outgoing transfer remains mired in minor disputes over payment schedules and clauses, keeping the Gunners from going all in on Palace's demands. It is a delicate balance between patience and decisiveness, between holding ground and striking before an opponent does. The clock keeps ticking, and with each passing hour the tension rises. Arsenal must decide whether to break their own transfer discipline to secure ease or risk seeing him unveiled at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in front of jubilant Spurs fans. The outcome will shape not just their squad for the coming season, but the narrative of the summer, the morale of their supporters, and the perception of their place in the Premier League's competitive hierarchy. In this high-stakes game, one decisive move could tip the balance, but hesitation could prove costly, and both North London clubs know that the next few days will define far more than just a single transfer.